Alrighty guys, I don't know where to begin on this video. Sawfest this year was absolutely amazing. I was so glad I got to go at last minute. Thank you, Eric, and the whole team that worked down there to make that Sawfest possible. Had an absolute blast. Today we're going to talk about my saws and where they placed, and what I mean by my saws is, I guess, if I built the saw, I still look at it as like my saw. Plenty of different competitors running them, but I'm absolutely thrilled, tickled to death that my saws placed as good as they did. I'm just a nobody that goofs off here in the shop, and all the people that I got to meet down there, fans of the channel. I don't know if he wants to be named or not, but there was my Orange 372 that I was going to compete with. I wasn't feeling so hot the day of, so I was just going to back right out of the race and watch in the stands. And in fact, I recorded all that footage sitting in the stands there. I had a real good bird's eye view of it, so I just let the camera go, and I got you guys some uncut footage of what I was seeing. But I let I guess it'd be a subscriber's son or whatever, how you want to word that. The son might be a subscriber to my channel too. But I let his boy run the 372 in the Clone Wars race. He cut out, or not, I don't know, cut out or backed out, or whatever you want to call it. And then I think he went, after he nipped the cookie off, I think he went over the line too, so I think it's a DQ. But for the young man that ran it, don't feel bad about that at all. I pulled up on my 500 last year in the 80cc class, and it walked me right out, and I shortcut it. Bodie shortcut this year. It can happen to anybody. A lot of emotions and adrenaline and all kinds of stuff going on, so a lot can happen on the races. But you made me really proud that you ran my saw. That was awesome. I hope it made your day. It made my day. The competition there is just incredibly stiff. Like, there's some top-notch saws and saw builders there, and saws from other saw builders that couldn't make it there that were getting represented too. It was awesome. But I couldn't stick around there long enough to actually get the real print off. I had to get pictures, and my buddy up at the body shop print them off. But let's start. The highlights are saws I've done. In the limbing contest, Bodie took first place at 8.25. That was at 43.10 I built them. Good job on that, Bodie. Good job on everybody in here, actually. But down here, that was one of my 550s. Brian Hahn got a 9.03. Good job on that, buddy. My buddy John Waslick took 9th. 9.04. Good job on that one too. And I believe TW ran the 4910 I built him. At least I saw a video. I didn't get to actually see TW run, but at least I saw a video that he put out. I believe he ran the 4910 that I built him in there, and he got a 9.18. So good job there, TW. So that's 4 saws right there that placed in the top 10 on the limbing contest. Where can I set these where I won't get them all greasy? I'll just set that there. Now let's go on to here. Brendan took first. Matt House took second. Bodie took third. I ran your saw down there, Bodie. That thing's a runner. John took fourth with the white one that was burned up, and then I salvaged it. So on a salvage cylinder, and I think he even worked on it. He found an air leak in it and fixed it too. So good job for fixing that, John. But that took fourth in the clone 372, and then Gary took first. Sean Carr took second. Mike Budox, I'm probably butchering that, sorry about that. He took third. Tanton took fourth with that 10.2 horse 660 that I built. And that saw's got an incredible power, man. Thank you so much for coming out there too, Tanton. I know you drove like over 20 hours or whatever to get there. It was awesome to meet you. I hope you enjoyed yourself and had a good time. I really had a good time hanging out with you, and you kicked some butt in the race there. Made me proud. And then down there, that blue Smurf saw that I never even ran on my video. Smitty got 10th with that, so that's pretty awesome. And the wild thing, that one that Smitty was running is one I just pieced together out of a bunch of junk, and it took fourth. And then Doug reworked on that one that I built last year and salvaged the cylinder again and managed to take sixth. So to even get your saw in that competition, to even get your guys' saw to run, kudos to you, because those things are junk. So let's see here, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 more saws that I had placed in the top 10, which absolutely blows my mind. Never in my wildest dreams would I've thought that my saws would have done that good. And it's not just the saws either, it's a lot on the competitor as well. But I did participate in this race. I ran the Shindaiowa. I took third place. I think Kenny gets first every year. Grant's 550 is hard to beat. So I'm real tickled with the Shin. I had a real bad late start getting to the wood and stuff, but I didn't push down on the first cut. I was trying to feel the saw out for the wood. My very first cut, I didn't push as hard as I should have, and I think it would have been a lot faster. And then Andre Kaufman took fourth with my 261. I am so glad you came out, and it was awesome that you ran my saw. Thank you so much for that. TW took fifth, and I think he was rocking his little 346. Way to go, buddy. That thing's a runner. John took eighth with that 550 MK1 that I built. That was my personal saw, and I ended up doing some trading with him. And he had semi-chisel chain on that. He did not have RS for it. I wish you would have said something to me, buddy, because I had plenty other saws there that I could have took one of my bars and chains off and hooked you up with, and I'm sure that would have. I know that RS is probably a full second faster than that stupid semi-chisel chain, but either way, it just blew me away. And then 65cc class, my buddy Joe killed it out there. He got one. Good job, Joe. But John ran the Neotech 865 right here, this saw. And I was talking to him before the races. I'm like, yeah, when this comes back home, I've never really been happy with it. And says when that comes back home, I'm probably going to kill it and take the OEM crank out of it and put a China 372 top end on it. And I was thinking about sending it down the road as a 372. And I don't know, as good as it placed, I might just tweak that thing a little bit. And, you know, if there's a 65cc class next year, maybe we'll run her again with some tweaks to it. And the cylinder that's in that's Tanton's. I ported it, but Tanton supplied me the cylinder because I did not have a cylinder for it. So thank you, Tanton. But that little Chinese saw took second place. Way to go, John, on that one. And then down there, Smitty ran my 036. I sold him, and he took 8th. And I really wished you would have checked your chain, buddy. I watched footage of two times. We won't name names or whatever, but I watched your chain get dipped into the dirt in the warm up and stuff on that cottonwood. I watched the one I watched that nose dip in. It disappeared out of into that pile of wood chips about 4 inches, and I really wished you would have touched that chain up or let me know, and I would have pulled the chain off one of my saws. And then I believe Tanton took 9th, and I think that was his 65cc that he did. So good job on that. And I don't know what saw he was running, but let's see. And then over here in the 85cc, Gary killed it, and I think if I recall, I think that was a Jason Egan saw that he was running. Thing's a monster. Matt House killed it. Sean Carr killed it. Ken got 4th there, and I believe he was running the 500 that I built for my buddy. I think that was the 500 I built for Grant. And then Tanton took 6th with my 461, and I felt bad. I didn't know he was going to end up running this saw. It was like a last minute change. I ran that saw on the bounty log and put it through that dirty one cut down through that bounty log with that dirty log, and I think I even bottomed the chain out on the bottom when I come out of that. And then Tanton turned around, raced it, and got 6th. I should have swapped the chain out on that. And then I ran the 400, and looks like I placed 9th with the 400 in an 85cc class. So for 67 cc's, that saw can hold its own amongst the bigger saws. Pretty incredible, that saw. I love it. So the 170 I did, the needle in the carburetor swelled up from the fuel and would not run on race day, and I didn't have another carb to throw on it, so I didn't get nothing ran in the 170, but maybe there'll be next year. But so let's see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Is that right? How many do I? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's 20 saws that made it into the top 10. That is crazy. So, like I said, the amount of built saws there was absolutely incredible. The talent that there blew me away. I am curious to see what next year brings for classes and what we'll come up with. I fattened that shin up just a little bit before the race, and I'm thinking I should have left it tuned at the 16.9. I backed it off to about 15.8. But I don't know, the temperature had changed, and I just wanted a good safe run with it. I didn't want to hurt it, so. But I should have left the tune alone. She might have placed a little higher. But for those that were wondering, that's the race results. It blew me away. To those that ran my saws or have my saws, thank you so much. It really made my day seeing you guys competing and doing pretty good. I know when I come out of when I was racing in the 50, I don't do well in crowds. When I was racing this, I thought I was having a heart attack. My chest was hurt, and I had pains running down my chest or arm, and I wasn't feeling good. And I raced this and the other 4910 in the 65 class. I don't know where that placed at. It didn't make it into the top 10, but that's asking a lot. There's a lot of 365s and Johnson Red versions there that were just way faster than what a 50 could be. But I know when I come out of that last cut, I looked up there and across the way there and saw Smitty, and his jaw was dropped and his eyes were like the size of Coke bottles. It was funny. I think he had a good time down there. The whole time I saw him, his face probably hurts because the whole entire time I saw him down there, he always had a big cheesy grin on his face, and it looked like he was just having a ball. So I had a good time too. But after the 65 race, I went down to my truck and took some medication, and then by the time the 85 class rolled along, I was feeling much better. I think it showed in my grabbing the saw and in the transitions as well. But no, Sawfest was awesome. Every competitor down there was awesome. It was great meeting a bunch of you guys. So I've blabbered on here enough. This is the results video. In a day or so, I will drop a video on what I got on the raffle and what was also donated to the channel. And I got some porting projects that I got to get caught up on because the hand is almost back to normal other than the big hard spot in it. But yeah, so I don't know, let me know what you guys think. It absolutely blows me away, but I know one thing's for sure, I don't think I better kill this thing. That taking second, pretty good. I think with a few tweaks we could probably improve on that. So that's another thing too. I got to get faster at getting from the log back to the log and do my transitions. And if I can't do that, then I'm gonna have to figure out how to make my saws faster to make up for how slow I move. So, but maybe we'll do a combination of both. Maybe I can lose a little bit of weight and get some flexibility back, and I can get a little better at this racing thing. I had no practice. The first 50 run with the shin, that's the first time I done that since last year. No practice at all. So I didn't even think I was going to make it. So, but, alright, you guys take it easy, have a good one, and hopefully you enjoy this content.